Nerdy.
Nostalgic.
Madly inappropriate.
This
is Nerdhat.
Nerdhat, I'm with late. Why am I robot?
Nerdhatters. I'm here with Timothy Michael Cooper. Tim was the... Do you usually go by Tim or do you prefer Timothy?
Timothy, but Tim, I'll allow it. I'll allow it just for today. No, it's all good. It's all good.
So Timothy you actually reached out to me or to the Nerdhat podcast technically leading up to RiverRun last year. So you were officially the very first interview we did with RiverRun. So
yeah,
thank you again for...
Yeah, that was a delight. That was the first thing I did when I got there.
That was really fun. Yeah. I was listening back to a little of it, and I think I was pretty nervous because I kept interrupting. I was like so high energy. So hopefully I've learned to listen a little more and not interrupt as much now. But
same here. I hope I'm a better listener than I was yesterday. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that.
I could practice that active listening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for coming on today. So we just wanted to catch up and see how it's been I guess it's been a year. Yeah. So how your year's
Can't believe it's been a year. Yeah. That's wild because it feels like yesterday. And we went with Knead. We went to a lot. And we should mention, I guess that it's spelled Knead.
Yes.
Because otherwise people are going to be looking for the wrong word, and that's intentional. But yeah, we went to a bunch more festivals, but definitely RiverRun was a really great one. We just had a fantastic time there and met such great fans and such great filmmakers that I'm still friends with that I met there, which is probably really one of the coolest things that can come out of going on the festival circuit with a short film like this one.
Now, I've heard other filmmakers say similar things. It's just the connections you make, and sometimes you get to work with those people later.
Totally. Yeah. You make friends, you make associates. And I think there's a perception, and maybe it used to be this way, that, if you went to the right festivals, I was just talking about this with some other festival friends yesterday, that if you went to the right festivals or whatever, someone would discover you and suddenly you're, writing or directing Marvel movies or whatever it is, but whatever your dream is. But I mean, maybe it works that way for some people, but really it's all about connections and just expanding your community and your circle of friends and hopefully coworkers someday.
Well, how is, since we last talked, how is the festival circuit for Knead going?
It's been great. I mean, it's been great. We went to a ton more festivals. Then we, after around 40 or so festivals, not that I went to all of them, that would be a full-time job, over the course of, about 18 months, my producers and I said, I think we've done all that we can do or can afford. And so it's time to look for next steps. And so thankfully, the YouTube channel Omeleto reached out to us, and we were really flattered. And now, as of this recording, 24 hours ago, it was put on Omeleto, and now we have like thousands of views already, which is really nice because if you think about it, no matter how successful you are on the festival circuit, probably more people have seen it in the past 24 hours than saw it in its entire run, like many times more people, just because of the way. Not because it didn't do great on the festival circuit, but just because that's how few people can see it at a festival, even the biggest festivals, some of which we were in. So, that's what the power of YouTube and social media is. So, I'm thankful to amazing festivals for getting us here. And now it's kind of fascinating that it's out into the entire world now.
No, that is really awesome. I've been excited to see, I think yours is the third that I know of those that I spoke to last year who have gotten distribution. I think one person got theatrical with their feature film, and then I believe you were the first with a short film that has gotten some distribution. So that's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we are really flattered, and so far the response has been unbelievable. So it's. I was a little frightened because I'm like, well, now everyone can see it and everyone can weigh in. And I'm sure some people, hopefully more will love it than will hate it. But, that's the nature of any art.
Well, I know I looked at it, I think just earlier this morning, and I noticed it already had around 16,000 views and 400 something likes already, having just come out today, right?
Yeah, we're pretty pretty thrilled with that, So I'm not complaining yet. I'm not complaining yet.
Right.
It's really great, and the whole point of making a film is to connect with people and for people to see it and for people to feel that there's a message for them or to understand the message or feel like it's speaking to them. And so the whole goal is eventually to get it out to those thousands of people, but it's still scary at the same time.
No, I mean, I've never produced a short film, but having done a little bit of creative work, I can relate to that. It's a scary thing. I think of something a poet once said. I want to say it was Anne Bradstreet. This is like one of the first female poets, I think, to get published in the Americas. She once likened her work getting published to sending a child out naked with no clothes into the world. It's like, wait, get back here. You need to put more clothes on.
Yeah, I mean, you continually want to edit it or, explain it to someone or whatever, and you don't have the opportunity. It's like it's just out. You're totally right. It's out into the world and raw, and hopefully it connects.
So for any other filmmakers who might be listening or watching this, if you're allowed to say, is there some forms of revenue sharing that go with Omeleto? I know that can be difficult to come by.
Not that I am aware of, or not that they told me, but it's more they have millions and millions of followers. So
Yes.
so really, no, that's a great question. I mean, the opportunity there is to get your material out to more people so they can see, hopefully, these actors are amazing, these producers and the crew that worked on it is great. And maybe, the writer director, maybe we could hire him or consider him. I mean, that's really I think what you're hoping for in getting it out there. That's the opportunity.
Yeah, and that's definitely very valuable.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think on my YouTube channel, I think I have literally 4 followers. I mean, I've never posted anything, so that's probably my fault. It's not a channel. It's just to follow friends or whatever. So I thought, 4 million or whatever is better than 4.
Definitely. No, the hurdles I know to get to enough followers to make it done. You either got to have a lot of money to invest in marketing or just, it's challenging. So that's awesome. So I'm really excited for that.
And there's the other factor is, there's social media type of movies or posts or sketches, which are great. I love tons of them. And then this is more, you have to sit down and it's 11 minutes long and you have to sit down and really think about it. And you can't be, it's going to be a little harder if you're, fast forwarding or distracted or whatever. It's not made to be like a quick attention grab in that same way. So hopefully it's still equally or even more rewarding because you're sitting down with those characters for 11 minutes.
So check that out on YouTube. On the Omeleto channel. It's Omeleto, listeners. Knead, Knead.
Yes, exactly.
So I understand you have another project that's coming up soon. Getting its festival debut. Is that correct?
Yes, that's going to be the world premiere of my new short, which is called Rock, Paper, Destiny. And so that one I wrote, and my amazingly talented friend Tess Paris directed it, and that was shot in Indiana, actually, for this other company, Constellation, which is great. And because it was in Indiana, we were able to get over 200 extras.
Oh,
because
nice.
it's a sports movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a sports comedy and it's for family. It's like a family audience. It's very PG. It's really fun. And so that's been interesting to see what festivals that's getting into. But interestingly, it's playing in, I would say, regular comedy blocks more than kids blocks, which is kind of interesting because I think I wrote it to be for all audiences and the company wanted it to be for all audiences. But it's really fun. It's a truly ridiculous short. It's basically if you treated the game rock paper scissors with the same gravitas as high schools treat football or baseball. And so it's really ridiculous and really fun and really serious in a super funny, hopefully, way that's appropriate for all ages. So we're really excited to make that premiere next weekend at the Cleveland International Film Festival, which is I've never been to, but everyone tells me it's one of the best. So I'm really excited.
So listeners, if you're in Cleveland, you should check out the film festival.
Yeah.
Is it going to be screening virtually following the in-person? I know some.
I believe so. Don't necessarily quote me on that, but I believe it is also streaming virtually at Cleveland International Film Festival. So check that out starting. We premiere April 17th. Yeah, super psyched about that.
I know you mentioned, we were talking beforehand here, that you have a friend has a premiere going on at RiverRun this around the same time.
Oh yeah. My friend Justin Geldzahler he's an amazing comedian and writer and director, and he wrote and directed a film called OH, a short film. And I have had the privilege of screening it ahead of time, and it's hilarious. So I definitely recommend checking out the program that O is in.
Yeah, and let's see if I can find it here on the film guide real quick. Obviously, y'all can go to riverrunfilm.com and see when that comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
I was really
dot
O, correct. Dot
yes.
O.
Here we
But
go.
I'm really thrilled for him as well, because I just remember having such an amazing time at RiverRun, and great people, great films, and yeah, great friends. I mean, I sound like I'm an ad for it, but it really was one of the top festivals I've been to in terms of the filmmaker experience that they give you, which, you know, what could be more important than that?
No, and our new executive director comes from Slam Dance Film Festival at LA, and he was talking about, I got a chance to interview him the other day, and he was talking about how, coming from Slam Dance, and I know he wants to bring that same, or it brings with him that same sensibility to RiverRun, which, you know, it's one of the reasons probably he was drawn to RiverRun, is just by filmmakers for filmmakers. I think he said it's kind of the motto of Slam Dance, and he likes taking that approach of where this is people who are involved in making films or involved in bringing this to life, and also want it to benefit and be to the enjoyment of those filmmakers. So I think
that's really great. I'm sure it will continue. The selection that they made, the curation was really fantastic.
And I'm looking here, O is going to be presented as part of the Late Night Shorts program, which I know is at least playing Saturday night, I think at 10 p.m. Might have a second day that is showing as well, but that's like the first Saturday night of the festivals.
Nice.
Well, awesome. Well, we're running up on time here, but I did want to ask you a question we're asking all our guests this year. What's in your nerd hat currently? Like, what TV, movie, show, comic book, novel are you just currently nerding out about?
You know, I'm reading a bunch of stuff, so I'll mention some of the stuff I'm reading. You know, when you mentioned, I mean, look, the title of the podcast, I know everyone's mentioned it, but Project Hail Mary, I really enjoyed the book and the movie, and I enjoyed the similarities and I enjoyed the differences. So, I'm not, not that it needs a plug from me or anything like that, but the book, and it's like a best-selling book, but it's best-selling for a reason. And I just to kind of really admired the scientific veracity there, where it was like, wow, someone really, really thought about this for years and did the research and talked to physicists and so on and so forth. So I think that's really awesome. Others, I'm always reading sci-fi, and I'm always, especially since Knead, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's a comedy with aliens. So that was probably my first piece where I really tried to fuse different genres, or a genre with comedy. So now I'm working on some horror comedies, and now I'm working on more feature sci-fi comedy. So I'm just, that genre really appeals to me. I might have even talked about this last time I was on your podcast, Richard. But so I am reading, and I'm inspired by a bunch of stuff that I am reading. And for example, if you haven't read Out There by Kate Folk, it's a collection of short stories, and they're all, I think that they're sci-fi, but I would say through a feminist lens, and they're all funny and sad and strange, and they're just really great. And I think that's being adapted. Some of those stories are being adapted into a movie as well. And then another one that I am reading right now, so I haven't finished it, so no spoilers, is Audition by Katie Kitamura. And that one is also kind of a sci-fi, or there's a lot going on there. I'll just say there's a lot going on. And then another one that I really enjoyed was The Husbands, which is Holly Gramazio. And that one is basically this woman, hopefully I'm doing it right, but every time her husband goes up to the attic, he comes down as a different husband. It's a different person. It's a completely different person that she's been married to the whole time, which I believe is also being adapted into a TV show, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm just like, man, that premise is so awesome that I wish I'd thought of it. So I would call all these kind of less, not hard sci-fi, but they're more exploratory or speculative, or like comedy with a sci-fi element or drama with a sci-fi element. So I think these are all kind of the same theme in a certain way of Knead, which is why I bring them up. I'm like, oh, almost everything I'm reading is that kind of fusion, which I'm really into right now.
Yeah, and speaking for myself, I'd love to see more of it. I think we did talk about this in our interview last year. There's not a lot of sci-fi comedies out there. That I can only think of 2 features off. I'm sure there's more than that, but I can, I mean, Galaxy Quest obviously is
yes,
one of the most well-known, but then I was thinking of a more recent one with Mark Duplass and Jake Johnson. It was called Safety Not Guaranteed. I think that was 2012.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, so
which is cool. That's funny you bring that up because I love that one. I was fortunate enough to write for the Writers Guild Awards for like the 10th or 12th time. So writing comedy for all the presenters and comedians and hosts last month. And afterwards I got to talk to Colin Trevorrow, who was the director. And he wrote, and he was the director of Safety Not Guaranteed. And he was part of the creation of the musical that's now playing in DC. And it was formerly here in Brooklyn, the same musical. So they made a musical out of it, which is really fantastic
that's awesome.
With the lead singer of Guster, actually. So it was who I also got to hang out with. So it was just like, it's a really great, believe it or not, that movie, that sci-fi comedy, they made it into a great musical.
I would like to see that. I enjoy a good musical and a good sci-fi comedy, so that would be a really interesting fusion.
It's a fascinating fusion. They're like, let's add one more genre, which is musical, but it really works beautifully.
I can't think that I'm sure someone somewhere has done a sci-fi comedy musical. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Probably. I mean, they did Back to the Future, the musical, but I don't know if that's kind of, I guess that counts. Yeah,
that counts. That counts. Okay.
But not, okay, so that's 2. That's 2.
Yeah. That's cool, though. Well, I hope that goes well for them. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the feature. Maybe someday that'll make its way down here on like an off-Broadway production or something.
I bet you it will, because it's really just a beautiful story.
Yeah, we have that facility in Greensboro. They usually, when they have touring Broadway shows, they make their way through there. I saw Beauty and the Beast there back in the day, a long time ago. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Well, let's maybe someday Knead the musical will come to your town, but it doesn't exist yet. But let's not let that stop me.
Hey, well, I know you never know. Shorts get adapted into features sometimes.
All the time, yeah. That would be the dream,
That would be cool. Well, Timothy.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks again for popping in and giving us an update on how things are going with you and your career and your films and all that. And wish you good luck with Rock, Paper, Destiny. And
thank you so much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to speak to you again, Richard. And I'm really excited to, hopefully I'll be down in RiverRun with Rock, Paper, Destiny or another short or feature real soon.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, maybe next year. We'll see.
We'll see. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.